have a lot of yarn. There's more. I forgot I even bought this. Help! Give me your guess. How many skeins of yarn do you think I have? Hey guys, it's Katie here from Katie DeGraff Knits and the Katie Knits podcast. I am going to reorganize my stash with you and tally up exactly what I have, because I have no earthly idea. None. I have a large stash. I have one gigantic shelf here, and then there's another one over there. What you don't really see is the pile of probably, there's got to be at least 10 to 15 bags here. And then all my acquisitions from this year alone, I don't even know. There must be like 40 skeins here. Full disclosure, I am not in debt from my stash and my yarn buying habits. This is not in any way impacting our bills, or I'm not that crazy. I do love the art, we'll say, of purchasing hand-dyed yarn. I will admit, yeah, I probably did stress buy a lot of yarn. Like when John went out to sea and was deployed, I would typically try to make a purchase so that it showed up on my doorstep like when he was gone, so it would make me happy. But I've tried to get smarter over the years. What am I actually going to use? And as a knitwear designer, sort of limited in the colors you can use and what you can use. So I've tried to be honest with myself about what will get used. Okay, so the way I have my stash currently organized, and I try to organize it, what works best for me is by dyer or type. I frequent several dyers. They have busted out of their shelves, their respected shelves. I need to shift things around. So I'm gonna drag you guys with me, because I don't know about you, but I can get lost for hours watching videos of people go through their stashes. Come along with me. Over the course of this video, I am going to be shifting you around. You're going to see a whole bunch of different angles. But at the end of it, I'm hoping to finish it today. I am not entirely sure if that's going to happen, but I want to be completely transparent with time. So we are beginning, and it is 10:46 in the morning. Timmy and John were so cute. Do have some shelves that have books on them. And I think my first thing to do is take those books and get them out of the way. I really do love my books on my shelves with my yarn. I think they break everything up and it looks really nice. But I'm going to get them out of the way, and then I will check back with you guys. I'm exhausted already, and as you can see, I only cleared one damn shelf off. Basically sniffing my yarn, and Micah is off in a chair over there. Micah is over there chilling, and Bees is down here. Oh no, he heard the cat. Hi Bees. Okay, I have procured the bowl that I typically block my knits in and all of my wool wash, and I have collected random T-pins and my 3 sets of blocking bars. If you're not familiar with these amazing Knitter's Pride blocking bars, they are bars, and I have combined 2 sets here, but they're bars. Helps keep a straight line. Love them. That's why I bought a bunch. Do love them. I do have some blocking wires too, so those go in the blocking category. So for now, I'm going to store everything in the bowl. And I do have a shelf next to my mats in my laundry room. So I'm going to keep all my blocking materials with blocking materials. Now that that is where it needs to be, my next order of business is I'm going to move you guys over to my other shelf and clear the books out of that shelf. Okay, we have relocated. I have, imagine that, a second shelf full of yarn. A very comfortable doggy. This is our living room, so we want it to look nice. So I typically keep my mannequin in the corner, which has generally a latest pattern release or favorite that I like to wear. But on this shelf, I have more books. So for now, the books are going to go with the other books over there. Every time you order from Miss Babs, they send you a little mini, which is a way to test their bases. So I have collected one of every single base, and I keep it here. So, yeah. As I'm going through everything, I'm going to be making sure that everything that's on these shelves belongs on them. And I am still in love with all of the yarn and books and everything that I have. If I am not, it's going to go in a question pile. My next order of business, I think, is just to start clearing shelves out and keeping them in a basic order. I keep this out. This is my Memories Past shawl. I keep this out because this is one that I tend to grab. I have worn this a lot, and especially recently. This is my Playing Favorites shawl, which I still need to block. It is currently in testing. Some beautiful wooden sock blockers, which I've never used. Is my mitered square sock blanket. I will never forget when I started this. I told John that, give me like 6 months, it'll be done. I started this thing like over 10 years ago. It ain't done yet. So, it does live in its own bag. I have some random balls here. Oh, look at this, more samples. Oh my goodness. Anyway, this is my Sandy Cove sweater. This is the fingering weight version. I really, really want to knit more sweaters, and I really, really want to wear them. Look, guys, more samples. Oh my goodness. These I actually both wear quite often, especially in the wintertime. This is my Miracle Pill cowl, and I found a bunch of remnants. They're not supposed to be in with the sock blankie. So these are from previous projects. And I found more remnants. This is a worsted remnant. Definitely doesn't need to go with the sock blankie. This is at least fingering. You may think, oh my goodness, that's a lot of minis. She's got enough to finish her blanket. You haven't seen the basket that's on top of that shelf over there where we started. That's got probably, I would say, a rough estimate of about 700. My guess, for posterity's sake, is 700 minis in that basket over there that you do. What random crap do you find in your bags? Here's some Legos. The things you find. This is a little tiny start to another blanket, because I got bored with my mitered square. And this one's actually nice because you weave in the ends as you go. I mean, I guess you could do that with any of them, but I actually did it with this one. So, little itty bitty start. Micro Legos. Like, not even regular Legos, like micro Legos. With, oh my gosh, I'm showing you the back. What a twit. So this is why it looks much better now. I was like, why does that look like garbage? I did design, this is the very center. Itty bitty little micro miters. And then around the center are self-striping. And then I have one, I used one full skein to go around. And then around that, I striped my mitered squares. And then randomly throughout the rest of it, I have some big squares. Big squares, tiny squares. Then my crazy ass decided I needed a border. So I split the mitered squares, and I'm using one yarn across the border. Oh my goodness. It is a little more than half done. I have no idea how many squares are on it or how many I need to go, but I would like to finish it in my lifetime. I really would. So my current 2 blankets do live in their very own bag, so they probably will go on a shelf all to themselves. This is my self-striping shelf. These are all of my nomadic yarn gobstoppers, and I do have 2 full skeins over there that I have to gobstopper myself. I absolutely love them, and they have their very own basket because from Two Sisters Yarn Company, this is their Bill's self-striping colorway. I had to totally get that. I mean, come on. What kind of a Bill's fan am I if I don't get that? Okay, self-striping yarns acquired. We got these shelves, I want to say like a year ago, and I've only totally reorganized once since then. So next up is this bin, and this bin is mostly heavier weights. One of my lone sweater quantities, and not exactly sure. Some destashes that I grabbed, so we're just gonna put him down in the mix for now. And there's just a random bunch of goodness here, but it's in one single basket, so makes it easier. That shelf up there, a lot of dyers that I don't have enough to designate their own shelf to, so I am going to gather those down and put those in their own pile for now, and we'll see how that goes. No idea I even had this. Not one earthly clue when I acquired that yarn. I have had this Madeline Tosh in my stash forever, and the colorway is probably discontinued at this point, but it's called Hydroponic, and it is just so damn pretty. I have 3 skeins of it, and it's one of those that I don't ever know that I'll use because it's so pretty in skein form. So I have no idea. I've had it forever. This is one of my token sweater quantities. This is Hedgehog Fibers Silky Singles, and I bought it from Eat Sleep Knit when they were having one of their Beasley, stop rubbing all over my yarn. I bought this from Eat Sleep Knit when they had one of their stash enhancement sales where you got double yardage. If you buy a sweater quantity from them, you get double yardage in their yarn-a-thon. I cannot speak. Anyway, but then they put a bonus on it, so I grabbed this beautiful batch. This is in the colorway Construct. Super pretty. And I got a punchy color to go with it in case I wanted a punch. This is Coral, so super pretty. As you can see, they're still in skein form, not used. I'm short. I probably should get out the step stool. But what you don't see is up there I have another bin of remnants and leftovers. Oh my goodness. But we're going to focus down here. Those bins are not moving. All right. I brought you guys down here. This shelf, and there's another exact shelf just like this over there. They're all single random skeins. I have another sweater quantity of yarn that I totally forgot I bought. Oh my goodness. So this is exactly why I do this. And this is exactly why I recommend that, especially if you have a considerable stash, you go through it from time to time. And for me, like, I don't utilize the Ravelry stash feature. I probably should. But I like to put eyes and hands on the yarn. Totally forgot I had this. It's beautiful. It is 11 light in Tosh vintage. So pretty. Yeah, totally forgot I had it. I purchased probably 2-3 years ago. They're red, white, and blue. They're Bill's colors. I thought it would be super fun to make me, Sophia, and Elizabeth hats where one is the main color and then the other two are accents. So we'd all have red, white, and blue. But as you can see, I never did that. This is Blue Moon Fiber Socks That Rock. This is another full skein, which I have no idea if I'm ever going to have enough. But I'm doing the little half mitered squares all around the edge of my mitered square blanket. That's what this is for. I lied, guys. I have another sweater quantity of yarn that I found. Oh my goodness. So I thought previously that I only had 3, and I found 2 more. So I have 5, and I'm waiting for one in the mail, so I have 6. I do have some Republic of Wool that I don't know that I will use. She does not dye anymore, which is so sad because I love her sock base and her attention to color was so wonderful. Bring you down here. I remember when I bought this from Eat Sleep Knit. This was a Yarnathon colorway. It is Blue Moon Fiber Arts Socks That Rock. It is their Super Sparkle. I don't know if you can tell, it has sparkles in it. In the colorway Ariel. This was one of my very first luxurious skeins that I purchased. This is Cephalopod Yarns in Skinny Bugga, and they no longer dye, no longer a company, but I absolutely loved. This is Sharp Shooter Leaf Hopper. I think we have been at it for just about an hour and I'm exhausted. I'm like mentally fried a little bit. I think I'm going to clear these shelves off, finish these last 2 little bits, and then I am going to have to break for lunch and feed the doggies their lunch and take them outside to go potty. I forgot about these. I had gotten these on a great deal on a D-stash. They're all Hedgehog Fibers skinny singles, and I loved the colors together. She had started a little swatch. I believe this is a Stephen West pattern. And then she ditched it, and gave a great deal on a de-stash. So I was like, yeah, I could totally use those. I hate caking yarn and then not immediately using it. I hate it. Just hate it. But I'm too lazy to put it back in skein form. I have 9 skeins in this bin right here. They're all hedgehog fibers, all skinny singles, all caked. No clue what I'm going to do with them, but they're all in here. They all have their ball bands, so I'm just gonna put them back in here for now because I think that is safest. This is a giant bag of leftovers from probably the last 4 or 5 years of designs. There's a lot of leftovers here. So I'm going to have to figure out what to do with them. But for now, they're just going to make a leftover pile. Somehow, I have 3 whole skeins left over. So either I way overbought or I just bought and had no idea and then realized I don't need 6 full skeins for a sweater for myself. So these would absolutely make probably a couple of projects. This, and I remember when I started this, this was from the Boo Knits As You Wish pattern. This was from 2012. When I first got into knitting, I loved lace. I loved lacy patterns. I no longer find this my style. So this is honestly probably going to be ripped out and maybe destashed. Or maybe I will smack myself in the glasses. Don't do that. This sweater quantity I knew I had. And I had caked up 4 skeins. And I believe in one of these bins, I actually have some, this is Dream in Color Classy, and I have some Dream in Color Classy minis to go with it. Clear bag. Probably, it looks like one of those that you get your sheets in, your bed sheets in. And I saved it because I thought, well, maybe I could put some yarn in it. And I actually may. So we're going to put him aside for now. So a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, Elizabeth likes to look up what is today's National Day. And it was National Fanny Pack Day. And I dug up the picture of me wearing my Eat Sleep Knit Yarnathon fanny pack. And here is said fanny pack. So the last shelf I have to go through before I break is my Hue Loco shelf. And this is one that clearly I cannot fit anything else in. And I have an entire pile to add to it over there. So he's definitely going to have to move into a larger home. These are their hummingbird, from their hummingbird collection. It's actually their Take Flight collection, but they're hummingbird. I had an awesome wrap idea for these. I just have never gotten around to it, but I do have it all sketched out, and I think it would be so fun. Their Rooster collection in Crevacore. I seriously hope I even came close to pronouncing that correctly. But I had picked 2 up because I figured it would be super awesome as a main in minis. And this main color, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it. It is super tonal and so fun. There's like green and blue and all kinds of stuff in it. It was inspired by my Splash and Bubbles shawl. I wanted to turn that into a wrap or a different style of shawl, kind of with the same stitch patterns, maybe changed up a little bit. We have a fade, a beautiful fade, which is absolutely beautiful. just haven't gotten around to using it. I know I have a sketched out idea for it. I just never got around to using it. I had grabbed these from Simply Socks Yarn Company, and they are just so pretty. And I thought they really went well together with the tweed and then the slight speckling on this pink guy. I just thought that they really went well together. Know how I'm going to use it or if I'm ever going to use it, but it is like a work of art in skein form. Okay, one shelf is completely cleared. I have a lot of mess around here. Okay, this is everything that came out of that shelf. So I am going to be back to go through all of this. Okay, took a lunch break and had to take care of the dogs and everything. I am back to finish. I think what I'm going to do before I dig into that shelf over there is I am going to go through what I took out of the shelf behind me and make my maybe pile. Things I'm not exactly sure I want to keep. Maybe they go into a giveaway or a de-stash or a donation. I am not sure, but I really want to make sure everything that goes back is something that I want. I'm also brought my trusty pledge down and my paper towels. I am going to clean that shelf because it is incredibly dusty and gross. So it's not really gross, but it's dusty. It needs to be done. So I'm going to go grab my step stool because I'm too damn short to reach the top of it, and I will get at it. Now I know I've been preaching the sweater quantity, I need more sweater quantity thing, but I had no idea I even had this. And it is 6 skeins of Madeline Tosh, Farm Twist, and Antique Lace. I honestly cannot see myself ever wearing this color, or John ever wearing this color, or one of the girls. So I think I may have to find this sweater quantity a new home. So now, oh my goodness, I'm kind of in a little crossroads because, well, I do not feel shame for my large stash. It is a tad overwhelming sometimes because sometimes it feels like too much, just too much going on. I can't think properly. So I went upstairs for lunch and Sophia came down and she's like, Mom, you have a problem. And then Elizabeth was like, you know, I thought you'd have more. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move these. Actually, I'm not going to touch these. I'm not moving them at all. I'm going to separate chunks of dyers that I know I have out of here, that I know I have more of out of there. And then I am going to take apart that cabinet. And I discovered earlier that I didn't even know I had this skein. Little do I know, I have 2. So I actually have enough to do something with. It is a very beautiful color. This is Western Sky Knits, and it is in the colorway Morning Rose, and it is their worsted. And if you remember earlier, I showed you this sweater quantity. It is Dream in Color Classy. I can't remember what color it is, but I I bought it from Eat Sleep Knit so I could look it up on their website. But I told you that I had some minis, and I had bought these minis to go together with this main color. This is a beautiful sweater quantity that I have from Teal Torch Knits. It is, I'm going to try not to get the color blown out here. It's very vibrant. This is Dancing on Top of Cars. I have 6 skeins of it. It is, I believe this is DK. Kind of feeling like this would be more cardigan-ish. So maybe that's definitely something. I have handmade buttons on the top of my list for Rhinebeck, so maybe that's something. I will snag some buttons. I'll make sure I take some pictures of this with me and get some coordinating buttons for it. But a cardigan may be a really good option. Can't see myself making it for a sweater. Over here for the teardown of that sucker. I'd say half of this entire shelving unit is Miss Babs. That I have an addiction to. It used to be just that one little shelf, that bigger shelf right there. I'm going to tear this sucker down and go through it. This is a, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 7 skein fade set with an accent color of Miss Babs Yet. No idea what I'm going to do with it, but it was too pretty not to pick up. This was sort of like my segregated mini bin. This is an Advent from Sunshine that I got last year. It was their Groovy Advent. So retro, and anything retro, absolutely love it. I also have where the heck did it go? I don't know where it is at the moment, but I have 2 main coordinating skeins that go with this Advent. I have to find them. I do have them though. But those definitely aren't going anywhere. I have had this 3 Irish Girls mini set. It was, oh my goodness, probably bought this like 10 years ago at least. It was a Mother's Day update. It was a Mother's Day bouquet that they offered. And I had to have it because it was just so cheery and fun. I've never used them. But I don't think these guys are going anywhere. Oh, this. This was from Row 1. They're a monthly mini club. And the Golden Pearls were a featured dyer 1 month. So I, of course, had to snag those. So these will all go into a project at some point together. Let's see. Oh, I picked up this Pineapple Sunset mini set from Moonglow a while ago. Oh my goodness, I just haven't had a chance to sit down with it, and I actually want to get a full coordinating skein from her. Or I may just use the minis on something. Be a super fun like fading cowl or something like that. I don't know. Definitely not going anywhere though. And I have a few random unicorn tails from Madeline Tosh. They're pretty. They're not going anywhere. This isn't looking good. You know, when you say you want to go through your things and you're not putting anything in that maybe pile. But that's fine. Totally fine. These need a bag or something. I need to put these segregated. These were a Palmer Yarn Company. Whoopsies. this is not going well. These were from Palmer Yarn Company. This is from Rainbows and Sprinkles, and she did a Golden Girls inspired box set. I mean, I had to get it. It's Golden Girls, so yeah. All of these are Sunshine minis. So I did have this bin full of like minis and smaller yarns, but I think this is going to become my Sunshine bin. And speaking of sunshine, no, I still haven't found the coordinating full skeins to the advent, but I did found another advent. This is their 2024 festive set in Imagine. I did not buy this one during advent season. I did get it off of a D-stash. But I was debating between this one and my Groovy set, and I settled on the Groovy one to open daily, but I was able to snag this one off of a D-stash. And I'm not going to go through every single thing, but Tiffany of Tippy Tree Yarns, she no longer dies, but she was doing a going out of business sale, and I was able to snag a few last skeins from her. And so these are definitely beautiful and will be used together for something some point. These are all my Junction Fiber Making Tracks Light collection that I have gotten from Miss Babs. They started carrying it, and that was what I made my first sample of my Never Ending Story shawl out of, and I had to grab these too. So these all need to stay together, and there's no way they're leaving. This shelf, all of this yarn is probably going to go in a basket together. This is all yarn that John has gotten me on deployments or when he's gone overseas for work. Look what I found! So this is the main colorway from Sunshine called Road Trip to the Groovy Advents. These are the product of, I had a great idea, and I want to say 3-4 years ago, I purchased these Cascade Heritages with the notion to make the girls pennant swags for their bedrooms, and I never did. But I have a rainbow here, and they are all full skeins, and I don't think I can part with them because it really is a cool idea that I would eventually like to do. Oh my god. I'm seriously starting to sweat. It's getting very hot. This is a lot of work, but I am really glad that I'm doing it because I'm putting eyes on a lot of things that I didn't have before. And as you can see, I'm actually almost done taking everything out, not putting it back. So I do have the ball band for this somewhere. It is spun right round. I grabbed this from Eat Sleep Knit, and it's one of those like work of art skeins that I probably will never use. When I find the ball band, I really need to put it back on it, but I do remember what it is. So sock sets. I initially just had one of those wire bins full of them, and as you can see, this is all what did not fit in the wire bin. It was like puking out all over the shelf to overflow. So my sock sets clearly need a larger shelf. This was the original bin that I had my sock sets in. Yeah, it didn't work. So this was another one of the reasons why I needed to reorganize and give everybody new homes. So I have used a royal ball winder forever. John had gotten me one back when I first started knitting, like that first Christmas after I started knitting. And I still have it, and it's great. But I was super sad when they went out of business. And it's about 6 months ago. John's like, well, have you looked on eBay to see if you can get a backup? So I did. So I have a backup. But I'm still using my first one. But I'm super sad they went out of business. But got myself a backup. So this last shelf is all Miss Babs. And I think, I want to say 90% of it is Yummy 2-ply. This set I had purchased, it's Putnam and Moonglow. I had purchased it to make another secret ingredient. That was my mystery knit along this year. And instead I went with the Stash Dive version. But these, I think, definitely need to be made into something at some point. And I have some more Moonglow. These I picked up to potentially go with this skein of Yowza. Thought they kind of complemented each other, so I don't know. I have gotten a lot smarter in my buying over the years. I will pick up 2 skeins of something that could potentially be a main colorway rather than just one, which limits me as a designer. So I have gotten smarter, believe it or not. Even though this looks like a huge, huge mess, I've gotten smarter with the mess. I was realizing I didn't have a lot of bright colors in my stash. And I saw this like neon green. My goodness gracious, my back is starting to hurt. But I picked these up. And these I thought went well together, so I left them grouped together. And I had picked up some Moonglow too to hold with it potentially. So I definitely think something bright and fun is in the future for these. These are all single skeins of Yet, which I had showed you the big fade I had earlier. Yet is a beautiful heavy lace weight, so I definitely don't see myself parting with these. And remember how I told you I got smarter? All these are singles. I purchased them all as singles. I had no idea what to do with them. This one, I believe, was one of the very first Miss Babs skeins I had purchased. It's called The Very Best. I should go back on my orders and see how long ago I purchased this. But this is what I used to buy. And albeit beautiful, how is it going to end up in a pattern? And especially as a designer, I need to be able to show the pattern off. So this guy's definitely not going anywhere for posterity's sake. These guys aren't either because they're really pretty. All right, party people. I am going to call it a day. I am going to organize this just a little bit because it's literally taking up our entire living room floor and there's really no path to walk. So I'm going to organize and then I am going to be back tomorrow to finish this disaster. Because right now it looks like a disaster and it's really not. So it's a beautiful disaster, but it's a disaster nonetheless. So I will be back tomorrow on day 2. I've been working on, it is now 2:06. Can't even see that, I can't move my arm that way. 2:06 p.m. and I've been working on this for like, what, 3 hours, 4 hours? I don't even know. Don't even know anymore, but I'm sweaty and I'm flustered and I don't want to make rash decisions on things. So I will check back tomorrow. Hey guys, Katie's back for day 2 of my stash reorganization. And the only thing I did last night is just made a path so we could walk through our living room. And I wanted to do everything with you guys. So I highly, highly, highly recommend if you are going to do a total stash go through and sifting and, you know, sorting. Take your time. If you're able to, take your time. Don't make any rash decisions. I'm freshly showered and I've had my coffee and I have more tea up there, so I'm okay. I do have limited time today, so hopefully I can get it done today. But if I can't, then we're gonna move on to day 3. So here we go. We're on the clock. Oopsie, where the heck am I? It is 9:09 in the morning, and I am gonna get to it. The first thing I'm gonna do, I have my maybe pile right here. I'm gonna go through my maybe pile, make sure all the maybes are still maybes, and then I'm gonna go through all of that. I already kind of went through it yesterday, but I'm gonna go through all of that one more time to make sure I don't have any more maybes. And then we'll see where I go from there. Now that I have weeded through everything I took off the shelves, what I'm going to do, I have a mountain of bags here that all have something in them. So it is a bag go through time, which I'm not looking forward to. 18 cakes that I'm not happy with, so we're gonna make a cake pile. And I have not decided what I'm going to do with my remnants yet, so they are just in a pile over here. Random ball of what I think is Madeline-Tosh, and if I pick my brain really hard, I could probably remember the colorway. This looks like a decent amount, but it's gonna have to go in the remnant pile for now until I decide what I'm going to do with it. And just like that, we have an empty bag. No, I'm over here. I don't even know where I am. This does have my third sample of my secret ingredient, Mystery Knit Along, in it, which is halfway through clue 5, so it is almost done. So he's just going to stay in here for now. So these are some super fun socks that I started a while ago. I'm going to dig the pattern out because I cannot remember the name of it at the moment, but I used my leftovers from my Sandy Cove project, and I love this pattern with this yarn. My Littlest Charm Company charm, of course. My delightful bag from Slip Stitch Studios Swearing Collection. Okay, next up, this is something that has been languishing forever. This is my Shady Pines pattern, and that is an initial pattern that is done on worsted weight yarn. But I have these 2 skeins of this absolutely beautiful Madeline-Tosh, and I wanted to do it in fingering. I do want to finish this at some point. This is a gnome. I found a gnomie. Finally started one for myself. I've knit them for others, but I've never made myself one, and I started one and love it. And I have my coordinating yarn in here, and I even printed the pattern out and put it in here. So this is a work in progress that's gonna need to stay. So he's gonna go in the work in progress pile. My little sweary unicorn. Oh, these are my cats. These are my herding cat socks. I had showed them on my podcast. So these are definitely going in the active works in progress pile. But this is a bag of Moondrake yarn. And I had, you see, even if this is on the needles anymore. This isn't even on the needles anymore. I had an idea for a flowy, light, airy summer top. And I was trying to figure out how my neckline would go. I remember I had worked this up, I don't even know how many times, and ripped it out. but everything's in here. And I really do want to revisit the idea. So I think he's going to have to stay in the... actually, I'm going to put him with my future design pile. So I'm going to make a design pile. And then I have my active works in progress pile. This is another active design in progress. Imagine that. This one even has a notebook with it. I haven't used a notebook in a while. Kindle came out with mine's over there, with a scribe, which you can write on it, and it translates it converts it to PDFs, which I can send to my computer and then pop in patterns. He's gonna have to go in the designs in progress pile. So this is leftovers from my never-ending story shawl, my Miss Babs Yummy 2-ply gradient sample are going to have to go with my remnants pile, and I may put them all in a bag together because I do have a decent amount left over of each toe skein, and they would still make a great project together. So I'm going to need to bag them up together. More remnants. These are from my secret ingredient Miss String It Along, and I did keep them in a bag together. I used my head for once. So these are going to have to go in the remnant pile. I'm going to have to see what I plan on doing with them. I know I wanted to, actually, these are not going to go in the remnant pile. These are going to go in the future design and progress pile because I would like to design a pair of socks with them. I have more leftovers. This is from my beautifully broken shawl, but I want to film a video tutorial on making my dirty tassel, and I was actually thinking about these earlier because I do want to use the same colors that I used in that sample for them. So these need to stay out separated. A receipt from our all-season drink bottle from Six Flags. At some point, I know I took knitting with me because I don't really ride rides, but at some point I must have taken this project back with me in Six Flags. So yeah, this is garbage. I don't even know what year this is from. 2023. Yet another design in progress. I have this on my list to release this fall, so I really need to get it finished. I think I started it a year and a half ago. So he's going to go in the designs in progress pile, which is getting rather large. One of my favorite little bags. It's back from Bird Legs bags when she used to sew. And I just found something I've been looking for. Imagine that. So if you watch my episode 5 of my podcast, you'll see I used to, actually, they're still here because I just filmed that the other day. I used to knit these little hearts for John to take underway and when he was deployed. And the idea on my podcast about making these. And the pattern's discontinued. But I just found it. So I am going to type this up. I know I made some changes to it. It was a free pattern initially, and it's just a formula basically. And I am going to get this out as a free pattern in the next couple weeks. And I actually found something really useful today. This is Notion Bag 2, and honestly, I'm not going to go through this right now because this is a stash reorganization and not a Notion Bag reorganization. And I'm going to take entirely too much time to go through this. It's an entire Vera Bradley purse full of probably half that could be thrown away. We're down to 2 bags. I do love the yarn, so I'm going to put this in the re-cake pile. Skein of Miss Babs Yowza and 4 cake to minis. I know I had a really cool idea for these, but I don't remember what it was, and I do want to leave these caked. because I think it'll be much more accessible to work with. And this is a very big bag. I now have one tote of all of my designs in progress. So at least these are contained and they can sit right there next to my shelf. So I know where they are and I can just go and grab them. It's done. This is a gutter flower sample. I seriously need to finish this. Like, this needs to just go upstairs with me. This doesn't even need to go back in a bag. This needs to like sit on my kitchen table until it's done. So I get so mad at it that I just finish it. So I think this tote bag is going to be filled with my empty project bags and bags, to which I have a lot of. I was sitting on a bag. Didn't even realize it until I got up to get the other one. More remnants. I think I'm at the point now where I need to get my few, throw the trash out and get the few things that need to go upstairs. And then I think it's time to start putting things in the shelves. Everybody has to traipse through the yarn to come see mommy. Oh my goodness, so much love. They are mama's boys. Okay, so I need to clear the doggies away. I need to, oh, I forgot to take these upstairs. Hey, get out of my tea. You're thieves. Now I am ready to start putting back. I think my first order of business is to find out what's going to go in these baskets, because what was once in them is no longer in them. So, I used to have all of my sock sets in this bin, but I have such an obsession with Palmer Company yarn sock sets. Now just the sock sets are in this bin. So, and when you're displaying your yarn, and especially like me, it is in my living room, so I want it to look nice. So I found these wire bins, and they do not have sharp edges. That was something that was at the top of my list when I was looking for baskets for my yarn. I didn't want anything that would snag on the yarn and pull it. So keep that in mind when you're looking for yarn storage. Before I do that, I told you I was going to tally my yarn up. So I created a file on my Scribe, and I am going to total up all of my yarn. So my next basket is hedgehog fibers. I'm debating whether I want to have some baskets just like this and then some with the skeins up. Anyway, I need to count them. This is my overseas yarn special basket. All of the yarn that John has gotten me on his deployments and work travel. So now I need to categorize these guys. Now I think the first thing I need to address is the whole reason why I started this reorganization. I needed a bigger shelf for my Miss Babs and my Hue Loco. So I think first I need to decide where they're gonna go. So I have all of my Miss Babs Moon Glow segregated. So I'm gonna pop them into a shelf. Since Moon Glow is a lace, I think I'm going to stick all of my Yet, which is a heavy lace from Miss Babs, on the same shelf to keep it all together. And I think I can fit it all in one shelf, so it'll be segregated. Now, my biggest chunk of Miss Babs, I don't think I'm going to put it all on one shelf anymore. I think that the Yummy is going to go on a shelf. I'm going to have a lace shelf, and then I'm also going to have a DK worsted shelf. I think for me that's just going to work better because I also have a crap ton of their toe minis. I'm to my fingering babs, which is a lot. What I just grabbed is everything that I have 2 of each colorway. So I'm kind of keeping them together so I can remember, because occasionally I've lost some in the mix and I forgot that I had a second one. So I decided to combine my lace with my Random Bases from Miss Babs. And then I just found this whole bag. This was a Yowza mini set, and I had an idea for a striped cardigan that is on the needles somewhere. And that skein of Yowza that was in a cake that I put in the re-skein pile, I am going to get back out because I remembered it's supposed to go with this stuff. So I gotta do that. Okay, so this is gonna wind up to have to go in the designs in progress pile, which was all neatly in that bag, and now this is just gonna have to sit on top of it because, yeah. So these are all my Yummy 2-ply toes, and I also have a set, and then we have some in the re-skein pile. So these guys, there's some room in this bin, so I think the re-skein minis will fit in here. And I think I'm going to put these down with my worsted and DK yarn stash down there after I inventory them. So now I'm down to a lot of random yarn. Maybe yarn I don't necessarily have enough to go in their own shelf. My Hue Loco is going to be all over the place. That's going to be over there. So I think I'm packing this guy first primarily. So I think my next item to tackle is my self-striping skeins. So I'm going to count those up and then get those packed away. Changed my mind. They're going to go on this shelf because I have too many white bins on that shelf and all of these are black, so I think I need to break it up a little bit. So the 2 dyers that I have the most yarn of in my stash is probably Hue Loco and Miss Babs. So my Hue Loco yarn, I think it used to be in one of these shelves, and I think it would be best suited between these 2. So I'm gonna go grab that and then bring it over here. Losing my mind. I literally, oh, it's still over there. I knew I had 2 of these of these tweed, but I couldn't find it, and it turns out there was another skein over there too, so. There, I have now 2 shelves for my Hue Loco instead of an overflowing one that didn't have a prayer. So I think this is going to become my sunshine basket. Figure out how I'm going to organize these. Got it to fit, and then I had to make it look presentable. Fortunately, due to appointments that I have, I'm going to have to cut this short again. So I'm going to have to stop for right now. This is what's left. Plus some bags and stuff to go in. So, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to do that later or tomorrow. Oh my gosh. It grossly underestimated the amount of work this was going to be. But I'm going to be very happy when it's all done. Hindsight, I wish I would have taken a couple extra days and done my Ravelry stash at the same time. But there is no going back now. At least I am keeping track of how many of each skein or weight I have, how many skeins of each weight I have. Oh my goodness. So, yeah. So I'm done for now for day 2. It is 11:07, so I don't even remember when I started. Thankfully, I showed you guys, so I can keep track somehow. So I'm just going to tidy this up and call it a day. Hi, everybody. This is now day 3 of my great stash reorganization, and I am determined to get it completely finished today because I have more time to devote to it. I don't have to leave the house, hopefully, knock on wood. But first priority of business today is something I've been putting off for almost years, is getting these cakes wound back into skein form to put on my shelves neatly. So I am in my kitchen. This is where I wind my yarn because I have a nice buffet that has an expansive space that I can put my Alpenglow Swift on and my ball winder and do all that. So this is where I wind my yarn. But I don't need my ball winder today, which I brought it up here anyway, and then I realized I don't need it. But I'm gonna stick my Swift up and I am going to get started, and it is 8:09 in the morning. So girls are eating breakfast, dogs are laying down for the moment. I'm gonna get started. Do want to give just a second of love to my Alpenglow Swift. I watched them develop these and then I could not wait to order my own. I just had to decide what colors. So I got pink and teal, and of course I had to get sparkles because it's so pretty in the sunlight. And why not have something that is pretty as you're winding your pretty yarn? These are amazing, and they are completely one-handed mechanisms, and they're pretty awesome. All right, confession time. I am completely abandoning this idea. It has taken me an hour and a half to reskein just 6, and my first one was an absolute disaster. It was from a D-stash, so I did not put it in a cake, and it was fine in the cake, but the center of the cake decided to come out and wind with the rest of it. It was that one probably took me a good half hour, 40 minutes by itself. So completely abandoning this. I did get 6 done. The rest of them, I'm just going to have a bin on a shelf. And let this be a lesson to me to maybe let patterns develop a little bit before I actually skein up the yarn and not go absolutely bat wild and just say, let's cake everything up. And some people do that and they like that, but that's not for me. So let this be a lesson. Okay, so we're back downstairs where the stash lives, and it's chillier down here, so had to layer up. But as you can see behind me, this is what I have left to put on the shelves. And I do have my maybe pile over there, which I did go through it this morning and it is still maybes. So some of it I know I was given, so will definitely be donated. And some of them are great quantities and great yarns, so they will definitely be destashed. But I am still cataloging every type of skein that I have, not actually what I have, which I will do at some point, just not right now. But looking over these, there are a few shelves that I do want to shift around just a little bit before I get started adding more. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I will check back. Check in. I did some reorganization over there, and I'm much happier with how that is. I'm good with over here for right now, so I am going to get back to cataloging and filling up a few more shelves. And I'll be back. This is confessional time. I still have to go through my remnants and leftovers, but I do have 2 bins. I do have a remnant bin on top of that shelf, which I will be adding to. So I'm not really going to worry about those right now. None of them are full skeins by any means or full minis. So those are going to eventually go up there. I'm not doing that today though. I am pretty happy with, before I had everything jammed in. Now everything is not jammed in the shelves. So there's a little, do I dare say this? There's a tiny bit of room to grow. Okay guys, confessional time. Oh, mama. Katie's Yarn Stash, not including yarn for whips, dips, or my sock blankie. So everything that is put aside, currently on the needles, or literally about to go on the needles. Oh my gosh. Okay. We have 25 sock sets. We have 46 full skeins of lace mohair. 217 full skeins of fingering weight. Can't you tell what I like? 17 full skeins of sports, 35 full skeins of DK, 24 full skeins of worsted, 9 skeins of bulky, 41 Miss Babs Yummy 2-ply toes, 30 DK minis, 206 fingering weight minis. Those included like mini sets or advents. That's all those are. 1 micro mini set. I have 4 sweater quantities in there. I have 1 on order, so I have 5 eventually. But in my stash right now, I have 4 sweater quantities. 29 full skeins of self-striping yarn. Some do have minis. I didn't count those. I just counted them as self-striping. And then 6 worsted minis. I'm not sorry for any of it. I am not in debt because of it. Everything was purchased or received with joy and happiness, and whatever is left on those shelves still brings me the utmost happiness. So I do have my maybe pile over there. I did not count how many is in that. I want to roughly say probably 25 to 30 skeins are in that pile. Anything that was gifted to me will be donated somewhere that could use it. And then I do have like a sweater quantity, and I don't see any of us wearing that color. It is a beautiful color though, and it's great, and there's 6 full skeins, so I'm probably going to destash some of it. So I did talk at the beginning. I wasn't sure if I was going to get my books back on the shelves, but I did. For now, the reorganization is complete. I will take you through a quick tour, and then I swear I think I need to go sleep for a week. This was very draining. And not draining in a bad way. The first day, you'll see my moods change throughout this video. But the first day, it was a little more, it was a mental punch in the very beginning. Because I don't know, for some reason, I just thought I was going to rip it down and put it back, and it was going to be great, and it was hardly going to take any time. And I was finding things that I completely forgot about. And then, I had some happy surprises, and then I came to terms with it, and I'm like, okay, whatever's not bringing you joy and happiness, we're going to go in that maybe pile over there, and we're going to do something with it. And this is good. I'm in a good place. So I am going to put this back together so I don't lose my scribe pen, which I have many times before. I do have a small pile of stuff up here that's going to go upstairs, like my ball winder. I only use that upstairs. There's no reason for it to be down here, so I'm going to put that upstairs. And then I do have 2 project bags of whips that I want to address, so they're going to go upstairs and be put somewhere that annoys me, so I take care of it. And maybe be put next to my bed. I'm not sure. But I need to remove my tea so I don't spill it. This is shelf 1. On top, you'll see my remnant bin. But this is my John bought me on deployment bin. I did not group these necessarily because I don't have enough of any one dyer to get their own shelves. But I tried to group what would look good together. So, and then I have some books. I have my skeined up cakes that I did not put back in skein form because that was entirely, utterly way too annoying and time consuming. I have plenty enough of Palmer Company's sock sets to get their own basket. Then this is my Miss Babs Yummy 2-ply shelf. Then down here I have all of my other miscellaneous bases from Miss Babs. And down here I have, this is my Yummy 2-ply toe bin. And then these are more cakes that I refuse to cake back up at the moment. I may get bored and may get angry with them and may do it at some point, but not today. So these are random skeins that I thought looked good together. Spin you round. On top of this shelf, this is shelf number 2, I have my minis. That bin way up there, they are 5 or 10 gram minis from mini swaps or well, those really aren't leftovers. I can't say that about those, but those are all from swaps. Yeah. Then I have a hedgehog basket. Then over here is primarily Madeline Tosh, and then I have some granite stay fibers up there. Down here I have my loom wool and some random skeins that I thought looked good together. Then over here, this tote is full of all of empty project bags. And then this is my sunshine basket. Down here is our super fun, get out of the way. You don't want to see me, you want to see this. My super fun self-striping shelf. This basket is full of nothing but nomadic yarn gobstoppers because I'm addicted and they're beautiful. Then I found another shelf for books, and these are random minis. And coming down to the bottom, This is sock yarn blankie and whips. These two are my Hue Loco shelves. So they used to be in one, I'm busting out of one, now they're comfortably in two. Over there in the corner are dips, everything that has to do with dips. And if you're not familiar with what a dip is, I consider it a design in progress. So anything that I am designing, being a pattern designer, you don't get to have too many whips exactly, which I consider a already published pattern that I'm either knitting again or knitting of someone else's. Then I have to deal with my maybe pile that I need to decide what was given to me so I can donate it, and then what I am going to destash. I am tired. But I hope that you had fun going through reorganizing this beast with me. I am very happy that it is over. And once I get these little bits cleaned up, it is going to be so nice, because when you walk in, our front door is right up there. So you always see it. It's like it hits you. So it's going to be something beautiful and organized now that I am proud to be part of our living room and not annoyed by it. Before, it was just everything was busting at the seams, and I would look at certain shelves and be like, I don't love that anymore. And when did I get that? And why do I still have that? And it was picking and choosing the things that I loved. So now everything is nice and organized and has its own space. I hope you guys had fun on my stash reorganization. Maybe it inspired you to organize yours. So, I don't know. Have fun. Have fun. I'm going to go and eat some lunch because I'm starving. Oh, I never told you time. Oh, time. Oh my goodness. I watched the time the entire time, this whole video. It is 10:27 in the morning. So I think we were at it for 3 hours today. I don't even know. I'm going to calculate it all and stick it up there. The total time. And I did not do anything outside of when I told you guys. So I'm tired. I'm tired, and I'm kind of a little bit mentally drained. So I may need to force myself to, like, you know, go hop on the treadmill and work out, or do something completely not knitting or yarn related. Oh my goodness. Maybe I'll take the dogs for a walk or something just to get really lucky. I almost said that too loud. Then I would have been committed. Alright guys, I'm out of here. If you liked seeing me rant and be weird, don't forget to check out my podcast and subscribe to my channel so you get notified whenever I post a crazy video. You never know. I have tutorials, I have, you know, stash ideas, yarn ideas for patterns. I have everything. So go and play with your yarn. So happy knitting, everybody.